the Rising Man has never been just about Jeddy Azuma. It might have started as an idea of mine, but always the idea was that this is a community, this is a culture, this is something that will live long beyond me. That's my vision, that's my intention. And what I had to accept is that there's not enough of me to go around for everybody. And so I was getting emails and messages and Instagrams, and I realized that I had absolutely no boundaries or standards for how I'm in relationship with the people who are in our community. I didn't have them. All I was doing was operating off of fantasy standards I had that I could get back to everybody within 24 hours. That was how I was operating in my head. It was crazy. And some people, now here's the breakdown that is kind of the teaching moment, the wisdom insight I had, is that some people are holding standards around communication that I'm not aware of. Some people send me messages and they get pissed off if I don't get back to them within a day or 2 days. And I never agreed or said I would get back to any of you guys within a certain amount of time, unless you're in one of our communities, right? And this happens other places in our lives, right? Where in your life does somebody get disappointed because you didn't do something the way they expected it? Someone had an expectation of how you were going to show up. Or maybe you had an expectation of how someone else was going to show up. But did you ever define that? Have you created standards around what communication looks like? Hey, if I give you a call back, will you commit to calling me back within 24 hours? Do we have a relationship like that? Or is it more, hey, I don't know when I will be able to get back to you, but you will get a response from me within a week. No more than a week. I will not let a week go by without communicating back to you. You see, these are standards. These are the places where we can make a commitment. And following up on a commitment builds trust. And so the thing I realized was, number one, I didn't have standards around my work and my communication with all the people who come into my atmosphere. Number two, I wasn't holding up any kind of boundaries around that. I wasn't creating that for myself. And I was operating in the lieu of clear objective standards. I was operating off of these fantasy standards that there was no way I could keep up. And the worst part of it all is that every time I missed a message, I missed an opportunity to talk to one of you guys or get back to you or made you feel as though you didn't matter, that's where it really hurts. And I was creating that suffering for myself. It's nothing that anyone else did. I created it because I didn't have clear standards for myself and how I was going to operate. And so I sat down this weekend and I made them. I decided these are going to be the standards of how I operate at every level of Rising Man and also in areas of my personal life too.